Okay, one of the other requests was our trips to Montreal. Uh, as you know, my mother was taken to Cincinnati. One of the other sisters wound up in Buffalo, Ann Seal, and but Montreal was the central place, and very often we would go up there at the end of the camp season. Uh, my mother's sister B and her husband ran a summer camp up there in the mountains. Anyway, so many times we would go up there at the end of the camp season, and we would all gather. You know, whoever could get there would gather in the camp to we'd use up some of the food that they had left over. We'd be there while the men were winterizing the camp to withstand those kind of winters that they get up there, and it was always a wonderful time to be together. Uh, I of course, and Mom could look. Getting to Montreal those days was like getting on an airplane. I mean, it was a 2-day ride on a railway car and it wasn't sleeping accommodations. You sat up all night. That's how we would get there, and it was sometimes we'd stop off at Buffalo and stay with Ed Seal for a night, and then start off the next day again. But anyway, while we were there, you get a wonderful opportunity to get together, to learn a little bit about each other, to tell stories. Oh, my aunts were great storytellers. I'd have taken the prize about the whole family, what they were, stuff like. There was only one party dress in the house, and so whoever had to go to a party, they would lengthen or shorten the hem to take care of that person. It's that sort of thing. There, it was poor. You know, my grandfather. He had worked for the railway company, but he was a frum. He was a pretty religious observer, and when they would not let him get off on a Saturday, he quit the railway and started his, quote, business. He had a horse and a wagon, and he delivered packages for people and companies. He did not start UPS or FedEx. He had a horse and a wagon. But it was a wonderful time to be together. I can still remember my mother sitting on the floor. Everybody was gathered around because Pasha, well, they used to call her Bess up there. Bess is coming to town, so they come and visit, of course. And I can still see her sitting on the floor singing Yiddish songs. I can still picture that to this day. And Montreal we have many relatives there. And then sometimes the folks from New York would come in to visit. As you know, David Levine's grandmother and my grandmother were twins. So there was a whole family that they knew. I never knew too much about them. There's a whole family that they knew about that was in New York that they would visit back and forth. And then we would, and going up to the mountains again. Everybody would stay there. We would be together. They would kibitz. There was plenty of stories going around. They would be using up the food, from the kitchens. And my mom used to talk about that as her Shangri-La. That place up in Val Moran was not Val Moran, but up in the mountains was her Shangri-La. And I can still remember very, very good times up there. Anyway, and that's in short the story of Montreal and visits up there.